unique style too, and that confidence is born.
Brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 13 wins from 13 contests. 1 win coming by way of knockout. He's a former undefeated English and WBC Youth Super Lightweight Champion and the reigning IBF European Super Lightweight Champion from Gloucester, Riddy rival, Akeem Ennis-Brown. And his opponents across the ring in the red corner, wearing grey and black shorts, he weighed in at 140 pounds from 23 professional contests. His record boasts 20 wins and just 3 defeats, 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the reigning and defending Commonwealth Super Lightweight Champion from London, Philip Quicksilver Bowes. Referee Phil Edwards will now give both boxers their final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you've had your instructions. You know what I expect of you both. Follow my instructions at all times. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Seconds out, round 1.
Here we go then into round 1. The vacant British title and indeed the Commonwealth belt currently held by Philip Bowes, who's in the beige and black long trunks, the Jamaican yellow, black and green for Akeem Ennis-Brown. He's been a curious puzzle that 13 opponents so far, Barry, have just failed to solve.
Get hands out.
Well, he's so unorthodox, and he comes in from angles that you shouldn't really be able to produce, to be honest. And that's where he's hard to tag, and he always exits a different route that he comes in at, and so yeah, he's awkward. But Bowes is a very good operator. He'll sit back. They both guys like the other guy to lead, of course, but he'll sit back and he'll wait for you to make a mistake or fall short, and he'll come back with sharp counters, especially that lead right hook is a very good weapon for him.
Well, it's been night of the knockouts so far, hasn't it? 5 fights, 5 knockouts, which not everybody, I think, would have forecast coming into this evening, but there we are. So I'd be loath to make too many predictions, given what we've seen so far, but I think plenty of people had this one pegged for an interesting tactical and technical battle tonight.
Get the hands out. Come on, work it out. Get out. Break! Don't the back of your head. Box on.
He's so confident in his own abilities, his style, the real belief for Ennis-Brown.
Break!
Just a little bit short with that left hand there. Bowes. Right idea, of course. Sort of left hand there from Ennis-Brown.
One step.
I think it's because he's always looking for the next move, that it lacks. A lot of his punches lack any sort of snap at times, because he is looking either to move his feet defensively or move on the target to try and throw another shot, so he doesn't sort of plant his feet long enough to get any purchase on some of these punches.
And I'm pretty sure, just getting a bit scrappy there.
Don't get tangled up. When you do get tangled up, we'll work you out, like I told you. Okay? One step. Box on.
And there you can see underlined that perhaps that's something that the referee spoke to them about before. Letting his hands go up close there, Bowes. Oh, nice shot. Left hand, huge long left hand there from Bowes.
It was good from Bowes. Ennis-Brown came in nice, came really upright, chin up in the air, and Bowes went really low before he threw that left hand over the top. Just tangled up feet there, I think.
Oh, a little bit of after, needs to be careful there. So a little bit of put the head in there, didn't he, Brown, at the end of that one? Brown's been used to frustrating his opponents. Was there a little bit of frustrating creeping into his.
But I think it's going to be, I think the accuracy percentage is going to be pretty poor for both, isn't it? Because they're both defensive fighters and who don't want to commit. But when they're in close there, there's a little bit of a overcommitment at times. That's a lovely left hand there, though, from Bowes. Again.
Out. Round 2.
Into round 2 then. Actually, the way he was clipped there, Brown, it reminded me a bit of when sort of Gary Cully last week left himself in that position, sort of head in no man's land. It was almost, well, he was almost knocked down because of it.
Yeah, nice body shot there from Ennis-Brown. The right hook. Oh, good shot there off the rope, so from Bowes. Nice left hand.
Good play. And again. Hold him. Hold him. Come on, man. Back on the jab. Back on the jab.
Get the hand out. Break. Come on, tidy. Tidy. Box on.
He'll be a busy man tonight, the ref, you would feel.
Yeah.
Back on the jab. Here you go. Good play. Lovely. Reset. Reset.
Hold for it. Get the hand out.
Can work.
Simple. Jab back out over the top. Break. No punches. Come on. Tidy.
Make him work. Back on the jab. Busy. Reset. Come on. Good boy. In and out. Good. Good. Gus.
A little bit of a dance-off.
Yeah, but can you do it? Like, it's been Ennis-Brown sort of initiating the moves, but it hasn't been that successful for him. So maybe he wants to revert back to what he's good at and allow you to force the pace, but then Bowes is not going to want to do that either.
One step. Stop boxing. When I say break, straight away. Box down.
Don't want to stop over.
I think Phil Edwards getting a bit frustrated. We're only 2 rounds in.
Good jab there from Brown.
Good boy. Upstairs, downstairs.
They have a common opponent, don't they? Glenn Foot. 3 years ago, Ennis-Brown went away up to Sunderland and managed to beat Foot for the English title on away turf. Really good performance that was. Foot was flying at the time, wasn't he? And that was just a few months after Glenn Foot had beaten Philip Bowes over 10 rounds. Narrow as well, a couple of points on all 3 of the scorecards. Those form lines don't always work out.
Easy. That's it. Good boy. He's coming. As soon as he commits. There you go.
Oh, good. Actually quite a nice left hand getting through there from Ennis-Brown.
A couple there, one there.
And you could hear Liam McKenzie in Bowes' corner saying he's going to commit. Just get ready. He's going to come. So they almost everyone sensed it was coming, and still he managed to do it without getting hit.
He's going to come, but from what angle is he going to come at? That's the problem you get with Ennis-Brown. Good.
Oh, just leaning down on the bottom rope there, and Ennis-Brown starting to get through with some of his shots. That was a big shot by Bowes, actually, and Ennis-Brown happy to... He walked right onto that, didn't he? He was happy to grab on.
Yeah, it was a good shot there, wasn't it? It's a bit of survival skills there from Ennis-Brown. But then he finished the round stronger, didn't he? He had sort of the better work and got some combinations together.
It's out. Round 3.
Round 3 scheduled for 12. The vacant British super lightweight title, once in the possession crikey, 20 years ago. We're talking now, certain Ricky Hatton, and
20 years ago.
unbelievable, isn't it? That was the night at York Hall when he overcame that cut, Barry, against John Thaxton as deep, well, Vitaly Klitschko against Lennox territory. I think we're talking about the cut that Hatton had that night. To York Hall, of course, went on to world glory. Junior Witter, Hatton's great rival, 2002, 2005, held this British title as well, ahead of that WBC belt, the super lightweight division he held before Timothy Bradley beat him for it.
Don't pull ahead. Don't pull him. Box on.
Oh, a couple of good body shots there. No, they got close and it was a bit scrappy, but Bo's getting his punches off.
Nice little left hand there from Ennis-Brown. He's better than Ennis-Brown. When he does a little movement before he throws a punch, just makes it harder for Bo to read when he's coming forward. Good jab there from Bo's, lovely shot.
Just finding a little bit of space to get those shots off. And actually, it is so untidy up close that previous round, Barry, it'd have been difficult to spot that big left hand that Bo's had landed in the clinch. Swinging and missing with that on that occasion.
Again, but he's taking a step around there. Ennis-Brown. Then his hands go, but so much is missing. Better.
Oh, gets through 3 successive right hands there, body, and then up through the guard too from Ennis-Brown. Some of the cleaner shots, a few of them coming from Bowles, but it's a busy start and then a good little sequence there from Brown.
And again, you can hear the corner of Brown, busy, and that might be the tactics where you know you're not going to have great accuracy in this sort of fight, so maybe you can just be the busier might be the one who prevails.
Extra Spencer for now, where we'll check in further into this one. And you do feel it's going to go further, if not all the way. I suspect the sort of fight that people are going to debate and argue about all the way through out it. So sort of tight it has been. I think Spencer's right, the cleaner work.
Jab there from Bowles. No, he's not.
Definitely from Bowles, but there has been a busyness that some people appreciate from Ennis-Brown.
And he's right, yeah, it is, but I got it reversed. I got Brown just ahead, but I can see where Spencer gets his cards from, and I wouldn't argue with it, because you do tend to see the better shots, the more purchase on the punches are coming from Bowles.
And I'll go in between you, because I gave the first round 10-10. I couldn't split them. So
body work there from Bowles. Oh, lovely shot. Look, that was a beautiful move there. It's a little half step back there from Bowles, then coming back with a lovely left hand.
Heads coming close together. He just dabs at his left eye, Bowles. Don't know if there's any damage. Probably doesn't want to be back against the ropes. Yeah, there is a red mark, isn't there?
Yeah.
Just towards the side of that left eye.
One step, let him out.
Got to do that move again for me now, Bowles. Just throw the jab and a little half step back and come back with that left hand again. Work the treat.
Mention it.
Bleeding in all that little.
Yeah, it just looked like a small. That's a lovely left hand there from Bowles. But back comes Brown.
Come on, let's make him work. Make him work, you don't want it. Come on, make him work.
Oh, good left hand there.
Again, oh, he's pushed down onto the ropes. The second time he's done that, whether it's just his footing, the pressure, the body.
He does it, Bowles. He does it quite often in fights where he sits very, very low. It's a clever move, actually, because he sits low, so the referee has to stop the fight. Obviously, has to break him up.
Break. One step, lads, one step. One step.
He always sits on that second to bottom rope.
Time out. Come here, both of you. When I say break, straight away, and cut the talking out, okay? Box on.
Come on, Red. Make it feel as easy.
Leave that to Barry and I.
I think he might have been talking to us, to be fair.
Oh, right hand getting through again. The cleaner, watch this, another right hand gets in from Bowles as well. Has there been enough of them?
Push your way out, push your way out. Stop boxing. One step. Box on.
Certainly the cut has worsened on that left eye, Bowles. Head clash, I think, called by the referee.
Yeah, but I think the blood's going away from the elbow, so he might be okay.
Oh, another left hand. And a right getting through from Bowes. He's definitely landed the sharper, cleaner punches in this round.
And the right hook as well there from Brown in that little exchange. But oh.
Yeah, and again, well, it's, you know, that's Brown. He did it after the first round. He stuck his head in. He did it again after that round. He just pushed away by Bowes.
That's a good shot there from Bowes. Let's see that little half a step back and just coming back. He should have done it a little bit more often, that little move. And again, Brown's trying to force the pace here, isn't he? You know, but a lot of it's missing, hitting gloves or shoulders. I sort of agree with Spencer there. His view of most of it, that round there, I think the cleaner work, the better shots were landed from Bowes, even though Brown was the farther busier. Good left hand there, though, from Brown. And yeah, that's Bowes here, just tipping those legs again. And
10 seconds, corners.
Sitting on that bottom rope.
Seconds out. Round 5.
Time out. Come here. Both of you, cut the crap out, okay? Stick to your boxing. Be professional, okay? None of that messing it out again. One step back, both of you. Box on.
And not a reference to the ending of the previous round, which got a little bit unsavoury and unnecessarily so, it seemed too. So these are significant titles up for grabs with rich history, as we touched on previously with Hatton and Witter, and this British title. Actually, the Commonwealth belt as well. Certain Josh Taylor won this sort of 2016, 2017, of course, and significant 7th round stoppage when he beat O'Hara Davies north of the border, his second defence of the Commonwealth belt too. Giving you a flavour of the rich history of both these titles up for grabs.
Good start to the round from Brown, but it was a nice little left hand there from Bowes. I'll tell you something, at 36 years of age, he's got to be one of, if not the oldest. I haven't checked it.
It is Barry's history. If he wins the British title tonight, Philip Bowes will be the oldest
first-time winner
to get that at super lightweight. So it's a significant piece of history for him up for grabs, as well as, of course, the Commonwealth belt he's already got.
There's a little step back. There's this lovely little move, but he got to fire that left hand then straight through.
Nice shot. Nice shot. He just had the cheer and the huge clap from Leon McKenzie in the corner with Philip Bowes. And then he goes again. Interestingly, Leon's dad Clinton held this very British title as well back in the 70s and 80s. Another little piece of the jigsaw potentially fitting into place for him. All about the history tonight for Bowes and his corner.
Good work from Brown. Oh, good work back there from Bowes.
Tell you what, Brown,
no disrespect to these fighters, but they'd be glad there's not Clinton McKenzie in there with them tonight.
Good point. Well, just the 4 stoppages between them, and what we're dealing with, 36 fights between them and thereabouts. He just keeps coming, doesn't he? He's always in your face, Brown. Not always right in front of your face, but always in your face.
And also, it's not all the shots he throws are not always effective, but you know, just being busy sometimes. And if you throw 6, you land with 2, and your opponent's only throwing 1 jab and lands with the 1, you're still doubling his work.
One step back. Time out. Just go over there. Don't hold. So okay. Don't hold it. Okay? When I say break, it's straight out. Box on.
Yeah, it is boxing. And it's championship boxing. And it's not pretty at times. It's absolutely clear as we approach halfway. They want it so much. It's a huge moment in both their careers.
Body shot there from Bowes. That's better from Brown. Just keep that rattling those combinations. He gets too close to there, Brown, doesn't he? That's the problem. But being the busy is the right idea.
You've got a short space of time to get this right.
Oh, there's that left hand, and he actually tried to spin away too, so he was thinking about the exit there, Bowes.
See Brown just making a miss with the first one, thinking he was in a safe position, but he needed a little bit of a further step back with that back foot. That's better though from Brown. That's what he needs to do there, and that's what he did there then, just take a little step out and go again. Maintain that distance at all times.
Takes a good shot, Brown, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He clipped a few.
6.
Halfway then. I'll tell you what, they've emptied the Vaseline jar on that cut in the left eye of Bowes in between rounds. Good jab that from Brown.
Good one back door there from Bowes. That's good work there from Ennis-Brown.
Hold him.
Letting his hands go, always busy, always there, always wanting. Brown.
Half blocked that shot, but it was still a good move though from Brown. That's a lovely uppercut there from Brown.
Nice body shot in return from Bowes, but the first significant shots he's landed in this round. It's been a good minute or so. Start 2 at the 6 for Brown.
Here comes Bowes though, there standing with a good body shot and then a chopping little left hand over the top.
Let's go, body baby. Let's go. In the line, in the line. Team to the jab. That's it. Back side, back side, back side. Yes. And up in the again. Up the middle, Billy. Bring a step. Good, that's it. Back on the jab, that's it. And move, that's it. Reset. Reset.
Just waited too long there, Bowes, I think.
Get your hands out.
Stay centre mid, that's it, come on baby, let's go. Come on, walk the back cut, Rick. There you go. Good, just lovely. Walk the back cut. Yeah? Get time now. That's it, good shot.
Yeah, a couple of nice shots. He's just starting to get his mojo, bit of rhythm into the work of Ennis-Brown for the first time.
But then, because he doesn't carry that power, he didn't stay there. Oh, good shot again there from Brown. He took a little step back so Bowes couldn't fire back. He's a good round, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's the most significant round. Every single round has been tough to score. This is I think, the clearest of the fight so far.
Come on, when he puts his head down, let him have it.
It's good there from Brown again.
That's it, good man.
Where Brown's looking for Bowes is always looking for that one clean shot. The situation, Brown's just looking to keep working, regardless. Just been on the hustle, hasn't he? Oh, good shot.
I tell you what with Brown, Barry, he's just comfortable in his own skin as a boxer, isn't he? He knows exactly what he is and what he can do and what he wants to do. Oh, a couple of right hooks there, almost the inside of the glove. I think the second of them from Bowes, but a scoring shot. And not often you see Ennis-Brown in that position. Good response this from Bowes. A round that he's been sort of losing wide, I think it's fair to say. Thanks, Spencer. Into round 7. I think it's one you can debate about what have you liked, what has taken your eye. I think it's a furiously difficult fight to score this. I think it's fair to say, but was that a change in the play from Brown in that 6th round as we head down the stretch into the second half of this fight? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Barry. I'm going to claim American citizenship and I'm just going to plead the 5th Amendment on scoring in this one.
Good. Solid jab there from Brown.
Just kind of bundles him over, but he just, I mean, the worry for Bowes would be that Brown is just maybe starting to find a bit of rhythm.
Yes. See, it's just stepping in out of distance, which is making Brown more effective in this last round and a half.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good point.
Brown's comfortable that he don't, because he's not been hurt. He's comfortable there, and he's still setting up either the long right hook, or the straight left hand. But no, with Brown stepping out, he has to sort of jump out of that little crouch. Or
don't hold. If you keep holding, you'll have to take a point.
Ooh.
You will do most of it. Don't argue about it. Box on.
Messy as it is. Flores, he's holding too tired. Make him work.
Warning then at halfway for holding for Bowes.
Good jab there from Brown.
Well, he's got a spring in his step, copped a left hand. That's been the punch of the fight for Bowes all the way throughout.
Punch in there. Frank. One step back. One step, get away.
Well, I don't know if it's dance hall or reggae, but he's got some moves, Akeem Ennis-Brown.
Reverse shuffle. Good. Come on, put it on him there. 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Let's go.
Body shot from Bowes.
Good. Good boy.
There from Bowes.
He tried to chop down on that left hand.
Let's go, reverse. Let's go. Keep working, keep punching. PB, let's go.
Let him out. One step.
Box on. Keep body, Red. Come on. Back up. Oh, busy. Great answer. In and out. Come on. Good.
Nice body shot, dipped under the reaction there, Brown.
Start working there.
One step.
Come on, Red. Last step. Let's go, Red. Good. Good job. Come on, busy. Finish the round strong. Come on.
Finish the round a little bit stronger here, Bowes. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough.
One step.
Holding all the time.
Yeah, I think that's 2 good rounds back to back. The Ennis-Brown really kept it under control. Into the 8th round then. As Ennis-Brown got his mojo, starting to find a little bit of space and rhythm to his work.
That was better from Bowes. Oh, good start there. Missed with the jab and landed with the left hand over the top. You can hear Liam McKenzie in the corner. If he throws 1, you throw 2. If he throws 2, you throw 3. Not really the Bowes style, you would think, but maybe he has to break the mold a little bit and find something different. But even though it was a close fight, just tended to the last couple of rounds, so the momentum will swing a little bit in the favour of Brown.
Absolutely. And, you know, at the age of 36, you get a chance to win the British title. Claim a little bit of history. You know, this might be the chance. This might be it.
Back to work, really. Last dance, Red. Do not run feet. Hold it again. That's it. Good. Let's go. Let's work. Take that. Break. Come on. Again, push him. Come on, Red. Make him work. Good shot. Underneath. Tidy it up. From the waist up. Tidy it up. Don't bring enough to cut up there. One step.
Again there, though, both landed with a decent shot, but then it was just a one shot, and then allows Ennis to throw a flurry of punches, and even though there's nothing on the shots, so maybe it looks like he's doing the better work, or the more work.
I'm not afraid to sort of get around in previous years, get experience as well. Ennis-Brown, I know he spent a bit of time out in Marbella with Ben Davidson, formerly Tyson Fury's trainer. A few years ago, 2017, he sparred Linares as well. What experience that must have been.
Oh, hang on a minute, Josh Taylor's trainer. Former Tyson Fury trainer, Josh Taylor's trainer.
Well, you know I'm Scottish.
Might be the best fighter in the country.
Oh, well, he'd be high on my list, for sure.
Incidentally, this weight.
Oh, big shot. Yeah, and of course, with Jose Ramirez beating Postel the other night at stateside, he holds 2 of the belts. Is there a warning? Oh, significant moments at a point when the 6th and 7th rounds may have gone against him anyway. Philip goes a point taken off in the 8th. That could be huge. He was warned in the previous round.
Good jab there from Bowes. And a good left hand. There you go. He took a little step back. Just a little bit too long to go again. He did the right movements there, Bowes. Just didn't wait too long to throw that left hand again.
Nice work.
Just good advice from the corner there. Ennis-Brown just a little step back to get a bit of space. Let those hands go.
Push him off, Red. One step. Half a step. That's it. Good
Well, theoretically, you should score the round as normal and then take the point off later. And later, will that...
Listen, forget that now. Right, you can be fucking ill later. Right?
It's a good shot there from Brown. And again, the little step back he does, or was certainly at the end of that round, it's just been a big difference. And obviously, that holding on there.
Seconds out. Round 9.
Into the 9th then, heading towards the championship rounds. Interesting in that exchange earlier, John Pittman asked Akeem Ennis-Brown, how are you feeling? And I think he just said, Barry, start of that allergy thing, whether he's just feeling some sort of reaction.
Yeah, I used to have an allergy against punches. To be fair as well.
I am absolutely allergic to pain. He's largely always been coming forward, hasn't he, throughout the fight? Whether that'll have any bearing on how the judges have seen it.
He has, but a lot of it's been ineffective, to be fair. He's missed with a lot, but I think he's still been, I think the fact that he's been busier, he's missed with 3, but he's landed with 2, and I think that's been where Bowes has been picking his shots, but the last few rounds, they have been few and far between for me. Good body shot there from Bowes.
Did you have Brown winning that previous round anyway, Barry?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So 10-9 there, plus the point off later, effectively 10-8.
Good shot there from Bowes. Again, this round, Brown's are busier, but Bowes probably landed with the better shots.
Feels like Brown 6, 7, 8. 3 rounds but 4 point swing in quick succession. Feels like that. You might have your own view back home.
I gotta be honest, it was never going to be pretty, but it's a better spectacle than what I thought it was going to be.
You just wonder, the way he's swung those overhand lefts all the way throughout, Bowes, if he could just connect with one of those. He tried a bit of everything, hasn't he? Phil Edwards referee. He's been on it right from the start. Oh, nice little uppercut there from Ennis-Brown.
The work ethic is just so much greater, isn't it, the Bowes? And again, in a tight round like this, that when Bowes was landing with a better work, I just think maybe another round where he might have been out-hustled. Might have. That's a nice shot there from Ennis-Brown. And again, lovely work.
A couple of body shots again. He's kind of mauling, and it's a kind of subtle bullying, isn't it, from Brown?
He's just been made to fight at the pace he's not comfortable with, I think, here at the minute, Bowes.
And at the age of 36 as well, we are down the stretch, and Brown heading into the 10th. And as Spencer was saying, that's exactly what Liam McKenzie was asking for, wasn't it, a couple of rounds ago? Interesting word coming in from John Pittman in Brown's corner in between at the end of that 9th round, Barry. He says it's turning into a mugging. Right? That's a bit strong, but you know subtly the point he's trying to make.
Yeah, I think that in and out movement has been had for Bowes. This Bowes trying a different tact here. See, the problem is we're asking him and we're wanting Spencer saying the same things and to do stuff that he's not used to doing, that he probably doesn't do in training because he has success in boxing the way he's boxed.
Oh, big right hand got through from Bowes. He's having to drag something out. He's been implored to do exactly that, and he is doing it.
One step. Let's go. Come on, baby.
It's interesting on the corner there to Brown.
Just come over here.
What's going on here? Has there been a head clash? He's got his back turned away from us. Phil Edwards was right on it.
Can't really see it there, but
Oh, you see the blood spraying down, sort of jetting down his chest now. It looks like it's wide on the right eyelid or the side of the eye. Whether it's that the head sort of punch, we'll maybe get confirmation from Phil Edwards, who's been spot on throughout tonight. The way he's kind of tried to marshal this and the way he's kept control of it. But certainly, Philip Bowes, implored by his corner, he's starting to deliver in this round, belatedly.
it's a great effort from Bowes in there, having to do everything that he's not natural to him. fight the totally different style to what he's used to doing. And you can't ask for more than that,
Well,
to be fair.
And it's what was required. And really, when it comes down to these moments in fights like this, with so much on the line, he may not get another chance at this stage of his career. He simply has to do whatever it takes.
And Cud Bowes is always a sit-back sort of fighter, make you miss and always catch you on the counter, so he's used to being quite accurate. Now he has to power forward and be willing to miss and just keep throwing shots, and he won't understand why he has to do that, but he knows that he needs to change the pattern of the fight.
He beckons him on. Ennis-Brown's generally oh, there's another big left hand right on that eye that's been cut. It is to the side, though, as you can just see for the first time this side on camera.
I think he's surprised Brown here, hasn't he, a little bit?
Well, as I said, he's been nonplussed by his opponents. The first time he rattled would be too strong, but it's the first time you just seen him slightly out of his stride.
Can't let all that good work slip away now here, Bowes. Oh, that's good. Good right hand there from Brown. Good jab though from Bowes, a good little bit of movement as well. Got a good round here, Philip Bowes.
Hold him, hold him.
Cut now, and in a fight.
Cut to your opponent, accidentally.
That's a lovely right hook though there, forget about the cut. The lovely right hook there from Bowes. Just the overcommitment there, but he got a little turned on the ropes, but he needed that. He needed to change the pattern, and he needed just to break the rhythm of Ennis-Brown, and I think he did that in that round, so I think a little bit more of that in these last couple of rounds now, really push forward and win these 2 rounds. And same for Ennis-Brown, we can't take anything for granted.
Here we are, 11th and 12th, the big rounds towards the end.
Keep it tidy, okay? Break, I'll tell you to don't get tangled up. Keep it nice and clean for the last 2 rounds. Box on.
He tried so hard, doesn't he? The referee right from the start to keep it as tidy as possible. The first 5 rounds are an absolute nightmare to score, absolute nightmare. From the 6th on, it's been easier.
Yes.
And to an extent, maybe clear enough. Well, those first 5 were well, as clear as a muddy puddle, I think it's fair to say.
Let him go, Keane, let him go.
That's good there from Bowes. Just stayed close there when the referee said break. I think he cleverly just stayed close, let Ennis-Brown move back.
Sign of a fighter though, Barry, as you hinted at, that when things aren't going your way, you need to do something out of character to drag a performance out of yourself. That is exactly what Bowes has done, 10th and now start of this 11th.
And it's not an easy thing to do, it really isn't.
Keep quiet, box on.
There used to be a rule, I don't know if it still exists, that the corner couldn't talk in between while the 3 minutes of the duration of the round.
Well, obviously,
what we found out in this lockdown,
yeah.
that's no longer in effect.
Absolutely. and some have maybe played that to their advantage or used it as a tool, I think it's fair to say, in fights, naming no names.
Get your hands out. Box on.
Can he keep it up at the age of 36 to give himself a chance, Bowes? Maybe he doesn't need a chance.
It is Bowes holding and tying up, but you know the referee doesn't want to give another point.
Be careful, let's go. Remember what I said, body and over the top. Good boy.
Didn't quite connect there, I don't think, with that hook. There Bowes.
Time out.
There have been times where I think he's on the verge of getting very, very annoyed.
To be fair, I thought we were going to see a lot more of this thrown around.
Yeah, I think he's been on it from the start, Phil Edwards.
Still arguing these two.
Yeah.
Let's go, Phil, let's go. He's too sharp.
Good jab there from Bowes.
Tim, hold some shots. Don't rush in.
Get hands up. Come on, put your hands up. Right. One step. Right.
Let's go, PB. Let's go. Let's go.
Again there, Bowes cleverly didn't take the step back. The referee said break, he just let Ennis-Brown take the step and then jumped right in with a shot that didn't quite land.
Stop up your shots. Stop up your shots. Stop up your shots. Let's go, Rick. Let's go.
And back comes Ennis-Brown, mauling and punching.
Oh, good right hook and the left hook there from Bowes.
And again. And again.
Couple of body shots from Bowes too, really sucking up and throwing his shots, dragging it out of himself. Still they're at each other.
At this moment.
Thanks to Spencer, all to play for then going into these 12th and final rounds.
Good boy. Lovely.
Break! Come on, break!
Good boy, that's it, nice. There you go, that's it, good. Come on, Reggie,
Nice body shot from Brown.
Let's go.
No, it was, but then
Make him work.
need that left hand over the top.
You make him work, let's go, come on.
Well, just when it looked sort of around 6, 7 and 8, as though it got into a groove, and maybe that with the template was set. And the 9th as well, the round where the corner were starting to really enjoy it. I think they thought they were on the verge of a big breakthrough, if not a clear points win. There's been a rally from Bowes, perhaps to give himself a sniff on the cards.
But he needs that push that he had in round 11 for now. For me, I got him a few points behind. I haven't. It's a huge round, but
I'm not going to argue either way with the way this goes. He's been busier throughout, Ennis-Brown, not always with the clean shots, but always sort of on the front foot and busier. He had that sort of rather dominant first spell of the second half of this fight, which should have gone down, including the 10-8, and maybe in the judges' minds.
No weapon, let's go.
Both landing, both swinging. Minute and a half to go.
both landing. But luckily, neither one's a big puncher, to be fair, because both landed. But I think Bowes' right hook might have been the better shot. Tell you what, in the last few rounds, the referees let Bowes off with the holding on here.
And that after, of course, the warning in the 7th and the point off in the 8th. Is that perhaps the defining moment? Again, he's kind of mauled. He's good at that, Ennis-Brown, isn't he? They're holding him in the clinch, sort of leaning down in his neck, sort of weight bearing and draining stuff throughout.
Shot there from Bowes.
Work it, mate, work.
There must be other fighters in this division who sort of look at Ennis-Brown and think, you know, he's tall, light, lean, his skinny legs, he kind of looks so beatable, and yet he's so kind of uncannily effective.
Well, that's the sad thing for both these guys. You know, the way they both normally fight, they don't sell millions of tickets, and they're maybe not always TV friendly, so they need titles to get the opportunities. They need these titles, so without these titles, either one of these guys are going to find it hard to get a fight of significance, of course.
10 seconds, let's go.
Well, of course, Bristol, Wales, plenty of fighters have come out of there through the years. Not so much Gloucester, but Ennis-Brown, we'll be hoping that he is going to be one of Gloucester's finest tonight. And after hard 12 rounds, really grueling 12 rounds where they gave everything. It was scrappy at times.
Cop out, this is exactly how I scored it. But if it went either way, I could understand. But more so, I could see more likely going in the favour of Ennis-Brown because of the work rate. It was very, very scrappy at times. The beautiful shots or the eye-catching shots were thrown by Philip Bowes, but maybe that's not enough. But both guys, they've got a lot to come back from because, with Ennis-Brown could have not been so herky-jerky and maybe sat down a little bit more on his punches, but that's his style of fighting. And with Philip Bowes, could have administered throwing more combinations in there. And I think because he was trying to rely on one shot and he's not a one-shot puncher, maybe that could go against him. But we'll see what the judges are going to come up with. But either way, it was a decent fight. for two incredible titles.
Oh, famous titles, yeah, absolutely. The vacant British and indeed the Commonwealth, which up until this point has been in the possession of Philip Bowes. I think they've dotted the I's and crossed the T's. The calculators and the numbers have been crunched. Let's find out whose name is going in the books.
We may not have a crowd, but after such a contest, could we please show due appreciation for both boxers? After 12 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Howard Foster and Mark Lyson both score the contest 115 to 112. Terry O'Connor scores the contest 116 to 111. All three judges in favour of your winner. And the new Commonwealth and British Super Lightweight Champion, ready rival, Akeem Ennis-Brown.
And there he goes, taking the belts, plenty of them. The famous Lonsdale belt going alongside, there it is, just a little sight of that famous Lonsdale belt, the vacant British, and indeed Philip Bowes Commonwealth belt. You can see those colours, bright, and those will be on the mantelpiece, perhaps on the pillow of Akeem Ennis-Brown later on tonight. And alongside his team, there's Tony Borg on the left, and John Pittman on the right as well, part of that success story.